This day in Philly sports history is proud to be a part of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network, where passionate fans make powerful content. Check out theclashingconferences.com and join the squad today. What's up, everyone? Welcome to This Day in Philly Sports History for August 6, 2026. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Thursday edition of the podcast. Man, is that baseball? I don't know what to make of that. I think in a long 162-game season, you're going to have games like that. But it was just weird. I think more concerning to me is the same issues that we had pre-trade deadline are the ones that showed up today. Phillies lose it 10-4 in 11 innings. The bullpen just was not good. The fifth starter only went 4 innings. Now, to his credit, Andrew Painter was not pitching bad. Left with, I guess, hamstring tightness or soreness or something there, but he wasn't pitching bad. In fact, he was kind of settling into a groove when he got hurt. But it was just a weird game. Cameron Killian wasn't the greatest. Jose Alvarado continues to just make things more difficult than they have to be. Rayleigh gave up a home run yesterday. I can't really get too mad about that, considering I think it was only, I saw a stat somewhere, and I'm butchering this, but I think like his second home run in the past whatever amount of games. So it was just weird that way. Phillies had their chances, though. They went 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. I feel like they had multiple runners on base, a lot of innings, and just couldn't bring them home. Arise continues to be a godsend for this team. You had Bryce stealing bases when he probably shouldn't have been, being too aggressive, and then almost hurting his hand. Like I said, a real weird game. Derek Hill doing an Aaron Rowan impersonation. Hopefully he's all right. They said it was a shoulder, but it looked like he went face first into the padding of the fence, which they put the padding up because Aaron Rowan went face first. But they'll have this. 4-game losing streak is over. Phils lose 10-4. They look to take the series today against the Nationals. Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Again, I don't know. I don't know if this is just, hey, it's baseball. But, hey, as I go to all the time, like our friend Clint Hurdle says, shower well, wash it away. Today's a new day. We do have some Eagles updates. Sean Mannion was on the morning show. I saw Jalen Hurts was being interviewed by, I think it was NFL.com. It doesn't matter who it was, but it seems as though Jalen and Sean Mannion are on the same page. They are enjoying working with each other. Jalen seems bought in. Mannion seems to think that the relationship is well. And I have no reason to believe that this is not the case. Like, Jalen doesn't seem like the kind of guy who, one, would blow smoke, and two, would be very good at hiding it if he was blowing smoke. So I think that's good. It's kind of weird seeing Jalen like this. I think we're seeing a side of Jalen that we haven't seen, and I don't know if that is purposely done by him, whether he was asked to do it by the Eagles, whether he believes it, or whether it's a combination of all of them. But either way, I like it. And then a lot of people making big deals about this. I saw this and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Vic Fangio essentially firing shots at the offense, saying, hey, we got the best of them by a long shot today. But that's the way it's been for 2 years. Love that, because one, it shows that they are competitive when they're in camp during those live sessions. And I know there are times where you're going to be working on certain things, but when it's full on go. And Mannion kind of said the same thing, that like, yeah, we're trying to beat them. I think that's good. I think it's good for a little healthy competition, especially since these guys are probably not going to play in the preseason. So it's a good way to build up the competitive juices. But Vic not holding back, saying we got the best of them. I love it. You can get more coverage of the Eagles training camp as we get ready. Next week is already the first preseason game. Tonight, we have NFL football. It's going to be a terrible, terrible game, but it's NFL football nonetheless. But you can get more football coverage later tonight. Definitely first thing tomorrow, Kyle and I are recording another Brotherly Birds breakdown this evening. So we'll break down what we've seen from camp so far, any news and happenings around the Eagles, and just do it in the way we always do it. So look for that tonight wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube. All right, and again, I shouldn't say again, but I'm going to preface this with, I know it's going to sound hypocritical. For as much as I've ripped Ben Simmons for his training videos, being in the lab, LeBron James posted something on his Instagram about trust the process. I saw the same photos posted on Joel Embiid's Twitter account. Joe looks healthy. Joe looks very, not sickly thin. He lost some weight, but looks like he's pretty well, not necessarily jacked, but like he has some tone to his body, and was shooting around not wearing a knee brace. And I get the parallels between Joe looking good in a photo at training or at a camp or whatever they are, and the Ben Simmons thing. I get that. But if you kind of put all these pieces together, Joe said he was the healthiest he's been going into an offseason, had no surgeries, had time to obviously lose weight, get into basketball ready to, I guess, getting ready to get it, whatever. He looks like he's in shape. And I think with being down some pounds, it's going to help him take the stress off his knees. And he's not going to be expected to carry the load every night with this team. So, yeah, I love it. Go check out the photos and let me know what you think. 267-495-8531. Feel free to rip me for, because I it's different. And I'm telling you it's different, but I can see where you would say, no, it's not. It's the same thing. So feel free to rip me for that. 267-495-8531. That's the Back to the Future voice and text line. Union opens up their League Club group stage play tonight down at Subaru Park against Cruz Azul. And, of course, Cruz Azul likely will lose this game simply because they put a Cruz Azul flag on the Rocky statue. Why would they do that? They're tempting fate here. So we'll update you tomorrow on what happens between the Union and Cruz Azul. But when are these people going to learn? Stop messing with Rocky. All right, yesterday's trivia question. We'll get it out. What international destination? Okay, let's try this again. Yesterday's trivia question. What international cities have the Eagles played in for either a regular season or preseason game? Be Mexico City, which we talked about yesterday, London, Tokyo for the American Bowl back in '93, and Sao Paulo, Brazil, against the Packers a couple years ago. They have played in London quite a few times, and they will be back out across the pond this year to take on the Jags. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Philly Jimbo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Philly Jimbo as well. This is really the big piece. The more subscribers, the more I get into the rotation, the more things start happening that way. And then, of course, be sure to check out the Twitch stream for the Clashing Conferences. Pretty cool. Steady stream of my podcast, the Clashing Conferences podcast. Working on getting my man JD Talking Sports, who, if you want to check him out, he kind of just goes out and finds interesting people in sports to interview. But all of them are kind of in rotation, so go check out the Twitch stream as well. All right, it is Thursday. Time for a little Throwback Thursday brought to you by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com. They got you covered for your Philly sports apparel needs. Of course, the LeBron James collection is out and it's phenomenal. We're getting close to Eagles season. You get your Eagles shirt. You can get this Wawa Birds shirt. I love this. But go to Philly Goat, scroll through their site, check it out. There's a ton of different things for you. It's going to get cold, believe it or not. At some point, it's going to get cold. They got hoodies for you, long sleeve tees. So go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. The now world famous phillygoat.com, as they were just featured on Channel 6 last weekend. Good job to those guys. All right, I saw this article the other day, and I've been sitting on it, but it felt like this was a good time to go and get it out, just to give us a little bit of a motivational kind of kick to this. But Pat Croce, and if you remember, he was hired as the Sixers president after being their physical therapist and having this bold vision to turn the franchise around, and like basically came in and changed the uniforms, changed the culture, had focus group meetings with season ticket holders and let them rip what was wrong with the team. But I think what was cool with Pat is he went and changed it and fixed it. Brought in, obviously, winning the first round or the first pick in the draft and taking Allen Iverson certainly helped. Bringing in Larry Brown, bringing in those black uniforms that people either now love or hate. I absolutely loved them. Bringing in Hip Hop, the rabbit, as a mascot. I mean, he would bit the Walt Whitman Bridge and hung a Sixers flag, leaping on top of cars. But just really changed the entire culture of the franchise around. Obviously made that magical finals run to the finals in 2001. Made the team a ton of money. And then left abruptly after the 2001 season, kind of left on top. Had some issues with management or whatever it was. And then kind of did his thing. Like he had the pirate thing down in Florida. Every now and then he would pop up with certain things. Was diagnosed with a rare form of blood cancer. But Pat, being who Pat is, didn't let it get him down. He was always the power of positive thinking and always positive. He was like, I don't have cancer. My body has cancer, which is, I think, a good way to look at it. But what he just did recently, high altitude check. And if you know anybody who is on any type of chemo treatment for any type of cancer, it makes them tired, short of breath, but went to a high altitude trek around one of the base camps on Mount Everest. Pat's getting up there in age with the diagnosis. So just one of those things I thought was cool and wanted to talk about, because Pat Croce, long after he's been out of the spotlight, I want to say he's almost in his 80s now. But just a phenomenal guy, really kind of helped turn the Sixers around to get us where we are. Like if it wasn't for the Allen Iverson era, I don't think we get to the process era, because I always talk about the purgatory, NBA purgatory, where they were before. Pat's 71, by the way. But look, I credit him with turning the franchise around. And, I talk about those late 90s or early 90s team after Barkley left, and they were just terrible. But Pat had a huge hand in that. So that is our Throwback Thursday, talking a little Pat Croce today. The man, the myth, the legend, just did a high altitude trek around a Mount Everest base camp, which is awesome. And I think he said something about getting to the top, you have to come back down, but if you stay at the base camp, it was very motivational. So awesome guy. But Pat Croce is today's Throwback Thursday, brought to you by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your. Turn heads and bring the hype with a custom hype chain from Lotwin. Perfect for youth sports, fantasy football, or just flexing your pride. Go to Lotwin.com. Use the promo code TCCPOD for 10% off your order. That's Lotwin.com. Promo code TCCPOD for 10% off. Get your custom hype chain and get hype with Lotwin. All right, August 6th. Let's first go back to 1963. And on this day in 1963, after moving from Syracuse earlier that spring, new owners Irv Kozloff and Ike Richmond decided to have a naming contest for the new NBA franchise in Philadelphia. Well, not new, it was the Syracuse Nationals. But Walter Stahlberg was selected as the winner. He was one of 9 people who suggested the 76ers as the name. To break the tie, they looked at the rationale behind it, and that is why Stahlberg won. His rationale was, no athletic team has ever paid tribute to the gallant men who forged this country's independence, and certainly Philadelphia, Shrine of Liberty, should do so. That's well written, man. People were just on a different level back then. Like, I would need AI to help me write something like that today, but well written by Walter Stahlberg. For his credit, other than getting, I guess, the recognition as being the guy who named the Sixers, he got 2 tickets to the Sixers' first game out in San Francisco to play the former team that was in Philly, the Warriors. Also a lifetime pass to every game, and got to throw up the ceremonial jump ball on the Sixers' first home game on October 19th, 1963. But on this day, the Sixers get their name. It was 76ers, but of course we all know and love them as our Sixers. But Walter Stahlberg gets credited with naming them, and what a rationale, man. Like, they probably just wrote that off the top of his head too. The 60s were a different time, man. And fast forward to 1991. Phillies beat the Cubs 6-2 at the Vet when Dale Murphy hit a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 11th. Lenny Dykstra also homered as the Phillies won their 7th in a row, dead smack in the middle of that 13-game winning streak they were having. And it was one of the first of 2 consecutive walk-offs during that streak. Both of them, ironically enough, happened in the 11th inning. But Dale Murphy, shout out to you, Beard of Knowledge, who loves Dale Murphy. But Dale Murphy wins it for the Phillies in the bottom of the 11th with a walk-off grand slam. And then finally in 2012, Phillies lose to the Braves 6-1 at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies managed to get 7 hits, but only 1 run. Ironically enough, and it was a slightly different game back then, but no strikeouts in the game. The Phillies won a game without striking out. So kids, that's a lesson to you that the game certainly was different even 15 years ago. But they lose at 6-1. They didn't strike out. But the big story was just over 41,000 fans showed up for the game. Not quite a sellout. It was the first time since July of 2009 that they did not sell out Citizens Bank Park, a streak of 257 games, the longest in team history. And that leads us directly into today's trivia question. Who holds the Major League record for consecutive home sellouts during the regular season? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line 267-495-8531, any of my social media. But which team holds the record for consecutive home sellouts? I won't tell you the date because it might give it away. So hit me up and let me know that. And then finally, last day to vote for our tournament, the greatest Philly high school hoops figure. It's Kobe, it's Wilt, it's Croce. Kobe gained up a little bit more ground yesterday. It's down to about 56.5% of the vote is for Wilt, but there is still time to vote. I'm putting up all new polls today, so get your vote in. Is it Wilt? Is it Kobe? Who is the greatest high school hoops figure in Philly basketball history? And I will announce the winner to open the show tomorrow, but it's close. And the tournament, of course, is brought to you by Beach Caddy. Go to beachcaddy.app. If you're in Sea Isle, Ocean City, Wildwood, Avalon, or Stone Harbor, they take the stress out of your Jersey Shore vacation. They'll move you in, move you out, as well as the best beach carts on the Jersey Shore. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your move in, move out, and beach cart rental. Still, plenty of time to hit the shore. But yeah, it's getting closer. Still time. Get your vote in any way you can. I'm updating the polls, and let's go. All right. On this day in 2012, the Phillies' 257 game sellout streak at Citizens Bank Park ended with a 6-1 loss to the Braves. Dale Murphy hit a walk-off grand slam in the 11th inning on this day in 1991, and the Sixers get their name thanks to Walter Stahlberg, who, out of 9 people who chose the 76ers, won based on his very eloquent rationale on why the team should be named the Sixers. So shout out to you, Walter. We appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow for a Feel Good Friday edition. Hopefully the Phillies are able to win behind their ace and win this series against the Nationals. Update you on anything Eagles camp. Be sure to check out the Brotherly Birds breakdown on that same note. Anything Sixers or Flyers as well that come up. Hopefully the curse of the Rocky statue helps the Union out tonight in the Leagues Cup. And then, of course, it is Fridays with AI, our final matchup of the 66-67 Sixers as they take on the 13-14 Spurs. And then we'll give a deeper analysis of what does it mean? What does it mean? But big show coming up tomorrow. And, of course, we'll announce the winner of the greatest Philly high school hoops figure. Get that vote in, even if you've already voted 20 times. I know I can see there's like a dueling, somebody's doing it, but that's the way it goes, man. Vote for who you think should win. Again, this goes on generational lines. But this has been This Day in Philly Sports History for August 6, 2026. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Thursday. It's going to be a hot one. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.